Hi everybody and welcome to this next part of solving other types of equations. In this video we have a look at solving literal equations. So in literal equations there's no numbers in the equation, it's just in terms of variables, but the goal of this is to make a certain variable the subject of that equation. So over here we have a list of 4 questions, and in pink is the question that we will the variable that we will have to make a subject. So this has a lot to do with manipulation of equations and seeing whether you understand on the mathematics of how do we manipulate it. So you can pause it at the moment and attempt it by yourself. Alternatively, you can do it together with us right now. So the first one is E is equal to M, and we are solving for C. So we want to make C the subject of the equation MC squared. So we would really like to get the C alone. So we're going to try and remove everything. So the first thing that's attached to the C is this M. So how do we get rid of the M? Is we're going to have to divide both sides by M, and then the M disappears. So that then we have E over M is equal to C squared. The next thing is the square. How do we get rid of the square? Is that we square root both sides. So then that's exactly what we're going to do, square root both sides. So it's about doing the inverse operation. So the square root of E over M is plus minus the square root of E over M. Remember, whenever you get a square root, you get 2 solutions, plus and minus, and then the square root of C squared is simply C. So that is then what C is equal to. Okay, let's have a look at the second one. We have BF squared is equal to VI squared plus 2A, and we would like to make T the subject. So let's remove everything that is attached to T. So the first thing is this VI, and how we can get rid of it is by subtracting it. So we have VF squared, VF squared minus VI squared is equal to 2AT. Okay, so I've taken that VI squared over, we subtracted it on both sides. Now we would like to get rid of everything that's not T over here, so the 2A. So I'm going to divide this side by 2A, and what you do to the one side, you have to do to the other side. And then what happens is the 2A's cancel out over here, and then this here is then our solution, that it's VF squared minus VI squared over 2A. And that is then T being made the subject. If it is possible to use algebra to simplify it further, you can. But if it is not possible, you leave it in the simplest form that you can. Let us have a look at the next one. So in this one, we have EK is equal to a half, and we would like to make M the subject, V squared. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get rid of that half. We can get rid of the half by multiplying both sides by 2. And when we do, we get 2EK is equal to MB squared. Then to make M the subject, we're going to divide both sides by V squared. And then finally, we're going to have that the V squareds cancel and M is by itself, which is what we want, and it's 2EK over V squared. Let's have a look at the last one. F is equal to K Q1 Q2 over R squared. We would like to make Q1 the subject. Okay, so the first thing here that's attached is this R squared. So we would like to multiply R squared on both sides. You can say R squared over 1 if it makes you feel better, and then the R squareds cancel. And then this here is F times R squared. So it's F R squared is K Q1 Q2. The next thing we don't want is the Q1 and Q2. So we can divide both sides by the Q1 and then sorry, by the K and Q2. And then the K and Q2 cancel on this side, leaving us with just Q1. And then here we have that it's equal to FR squared over KQ2. Literal equations are really fun. It's really fun to manipulate your equations. try manipulating it to make other things in these formulas the subject to practice your skill. If you have not understood it, please try going over it again. And more importantly, watch previous videos on how to solve linear equations and quadratic equations, because those skills that you learn in solving the ones with the numbers are the ones that you retain when you're solving it more generally.